In the last video, we stood in Abydos in front of the Osirion, and we told you that the evidence there proves the Giza technology was not isolated. And we made you a promise. We said we would do something no one has done before. We would leave Egypt. Today, that promise is fulfilled. I am going to prove to you that the civilization that built the Giza machine was not a local civilization. It was global. Imagine a map. At the center, Giza. Now I want you to place pins on Peru, on Turkey, on Bosnia, on China, on India, and now draw a line connecting them. This is not a travel itinerary. This is a schematic of an electrical circuit, a planetary circuit, and today, we are going to reconnect the current. We begin the journey in Peru. At 3,200 meters high in the Andes Mountains, there is a temple called Chavín de Huántar. It was built 3,000 years ago. But beneath the temple, there is a labyrinth, narrow, dark tunnels that penetrate the mountain. And when you enter them, you hear something, a deafening roar. It is not a monster, it is water. But what is insane is not the sound, it is the frequency. A team from Stanford University descended into these tunnels and measured the frequencies. They discovered something shocking. These tunnels resonate at an F-sharp frequency. The same note, the same voice of Mother Earth we heard in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid. How could builders in Peru, who never saw Egypt, use the same acoustic frequency? Were they following the same engineering blueprint? Or did they use the same device? This is not just an acoustic echo. It is an echo of lost knowledge. But it does not stop at sound. Look at the stones. In Chavín and in another nearby site called Sacsayhuaman, there are massive stone blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, cut and assembled with astonishing precision. They are not local limestone. They are granite and diorite, extremely hard stones. How were they cut? Once again, we find the same tool marks, mirror-smooth surfaces, sharp internal angles, holes carved in a spiral pattern. The marks that engineer Christopher Dunn says can only be produced by ultrasonic tools. The same technology we saw at Giza, the same tools, but on the other side of the planet. Ask yourselves, was there a single global factory producing these tools? Or did the builders themselves travel? Now, we jump to Turkey. In the Cappadocia region, there is an underground city called Derinkuyu. It is not just a shelter, it is an engineering miracle. It extends 18 levels underground and could house 20,000 people. But focus with me on the details. This city contains a complex ventilation system, 50 vertical shafts, extending from the surface to the deepest point. Scientists who studied these shafts found they are not just for air. They are precisely designed to create air currents that generate infrasonic frequencies. Very low frequencies, below 20 Hertz, exactly like the Osiris shaft. Some researchers believe these shafts were part of an energy system. The entire city was a geothermal and acoustic power plant. A whole city functioning as a machine, exactly like the Giza Plateau. Now, let us go to the most controversial site, Bosnia. There, in the Visoko Valley, there are pyramids. Yes, pyramids in Europe. Dr. Samir Osmanagic, who discovered the site, says they are older and larger than the pyramids of Giza. Academics mocked him, but in 2010, something happened that silenced them. An international team of physicists and engineers measured something strange. From the top of the Pyramid of the Sun, a beam of electromagnetic energy is emitted. A narrow, focused beam directed toward the sky. Its frequency, 28 kilohertz. That is an ultrasonic frequency. Ask any engineer. Generating a focused electromagnetic beam with this precision requires a device. Could the pyramid itself be the device? Just as we say, the Great Pyramid is a power plant. In Bosnia, the evidence is alive. The beam is still pulsing. The machine is still working. Weakly, but it is working. Beneath the Bosnian pyramids, there is a network of tunnels stretching for kilometers. They were discovered by accident. And when researchers entered them, they noticed something unbelievable. The oxygen level in these tunnels is higher than outside. The radiation level is lower. There are no harmful microorganisms. The air is unnaturally pure. Measurements showed that the rocks emit ultrasonic frequencies that ionize and purify the air. This is not a natural cave. This is an advanced purification system. And more importantly, some of these tunnels lead to chambers containing massive granite blocks. Granite, once again. The same material the Giza builders used. The same piezoelectric effect. In Bosnia, you can still touch the machine and feel its energy. It is not dead ruins. It is living ruins. Now we move to China. In the Shaanxi province, there is an entire valley filled with pyramids. Hundreds of pyramids. Some are 300 meters high, larger than the Great Pyramid. The Americans photographed them with spy satellites during the Cold War. But do you know what the Chinese government did? They planted trees over them. They tried to hide them. Why? Because they do not fit China's official history. But in 2018, a report was leaked from the Chinese Academy of Sciences. The report spoke of secret geophysical surveys. The results: beneath these pyramids, there are empty chambers, passages, water tunnels, the exact same design as Giza. The report used one phrase to describe them: identical to the subsurface structures of Giza. Identical. This is not my theory. This is a leak from an official Chinese source. In India, there are engineering wonders called stepwells. The most famous is Chand Baori. They look like inverted palaces. Staircases descending deep into the earth until they reach the groundwater. But they are not just for decoration. These staircases are designed with complex mathematical ratios. And when the rain falls and fills the well, the water passes through these staircases and generates acoustic frequencies. At the bottom of the well, this sound turns into a vibration in your body. In 2021, a team from the Indian Institute of Technology studied Chand Baori. They discovered that the fundamental frequency of the well is 7.83 Hertz. This is not a random number. This is the Schumann resonance, the frequency of the earth itself. The ancient Indian builders constructed a structure that harmonizes with the pulse of the planet. Exactly like the Great Pyramid, whose frequency resonates with the earth. Exactly like the Osiris shaft. The same science, the same purpose. There is another place you may not have heard of. On the island of Malta, there is an underground temple called the Malta Hypogeum, the oldest underground temple in the world, built 5,000 years ago. Inside it, there is a chamber called the Oracle Room, small, carved into the rock. When you speak in it with a low voice, people everywhere hear you loudly. The resonance amplifies the sound unnaturally. Scientists measured the frequency, 110 Hertz. And this is the terrifying part. 110 Hertz is exactly the frequency that alters human brain activity. It shuts down the language center of the brain and activates the emotional and visionary center. In other words, this chamber was specifically designed to alter the consciousness of whoever enters it. Acoustic engineering to affect the brain. Is this not what the Great Pyramid does? Is this not what all these places do? They are not temples. They are devices for modifying consciousness and energy. Let me remind you of something. All these sites in Peru, Turkey, Bosnia, India, and Malta share one material, quartz-rich granite. In Peru, they used diorite and granite. In Turkey, the underground walls are lined with granite. In Bosnia, the massive blocks are granite. In India, the staircases are granite. In Malta, the walls contain natural quartz. And in Egypt, of course, Aswan granite. Why this specific material? Because it is the only material that converts mechanical pressure into electricity. The builders were not choosing stones for decoration. They were choosing them for function. They were building with stone electrical circuits. And granite is the heart of these circuits. Now look at the sky. Every single one of these sites is aligned with a specific star or constellation. Giza with Orion and Leo, Chavín with the Pleiades, the Chinese pyramids with the North Star, the Indian stepwells with the solstice sun, the Malta Hypogeum with the winter solstice, the Bosnian pyramids also with the Pleiades. Why? Because these sites are not random. They are a network. Each site is a node in a planetary grid. And by using stellar alignments, the builders were able to synchronize their machines with the Earth's rotation and the seasons. They built an energy internet 12,000 years ago. And today, we are discovering its remains. All these sites share something else. They all show signs of being damaged or abandoned around the same time. The end of the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago. At that time, the oceans rose, cities drowned, the global civilization collapsed, but some survivors managed to escape to the Andes Mountains, to the Anatolian plains, to the valleys of Bosnia, and they carried with them what they could of the knowledge. And everywhere they settled, they built a version of what they had lost. A smaller version, less advanced, but carrying the same fingerprint. The Great Pyramid is the Egyptian version. Chavín is the Peruvian version. Derinkuyu is the Turkish version. All are attempts to rebuild a world that drowned underwater. In the early 20th century, Nikola Tesla, the greatest inventor in history, stood up and announced to the world that the Great Pyramid was a power plant. He stated that ancient civilizations knew how to transmit energy wirelessly through the earth. Then he began building his famous Wardenclyffe Tower to do the same thing. But the authorities stopped him. They funded him and then cut his funding. Why? Because he was about to rediscover the lost technology. Technology the ancient world already knew. Technology that, if it returned today, would collapse oil and electricity companies. Tesla said a famous sentence: "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is the key, and this is what the stones in all these sites are whispering." The question is, if all this is real, why is it not being announced? The answer is simple and frightening. Because if it is proven that an advanced global civilization existed 12,000 years ago and was destroyed by a catastrophe, then this means our current civilization could face the same fate. Governments do not want panic. Energy companies do not want free competition from the past. And religions do not want their beliefs shaken. And so, these discoveries are suppressed. In China, trees are planted over the pyramids. In Egypt, drilling is forbidden. In Bosnia, researchers are mocked. There is a global cover-up. But we, at Ancient Echoes, we will not be silent. Let us now connect everything. The global energy network consists of nodes. Each node is an archaeological site. Each site is built on the intersection of specific longitudes and latitudes. Each site uses piezoelectric granite. Each site emits identical acoustic frequencies. Each site is aligned with the stars. And each site is connected to other sites through tunnels or through wireless energy transfer. This network was designed to collect the Earth's energy, convert it, and distribute it. Planet Earth was one single machine, and we humans were part of this machine. This is the legacy we have forgotten, and this is the legacy we must reclaim. The builders of this network knew they would fall, perhaps because of war, perhaps because of a flood, perhaps because of internal conflict, but they wanted their knowledge to survive. So they built colossal structures from stone, the only material that survives for tens of thousands of years. They encoded their science in stone, in granite, in frequencies, in the stars. They left us a message, and that message says, "We are here, we came before you. We walked this path, we made mistakes, we fell, but we learned." And this is the summary of our knowledge. Take it, learn from it, and do not repeat our mistakes. These are not just ruins. This is a testament from our true ancestors. 6 videos ago, we began our journey with the Pyramid Code, and since then, we have been following the thread. Video by video, we discovered the engine, the guardian, the heart, the nerves, the proof, and now the global network. But this is not the end. This is only the end of Season 1. Season 2 of Ancient Echoes will begin soon, and we will open it by going to Turkey, to Derinkuyu, and we will see for ourselves if the underground cities still contain their machines. Subscribe now, hit the bell. Share this video with everyone who wants to know the truth. Because in Season 2, we will not just watch, we will start digging. Thank you for watching Season 1. I will see you in Season 2 of Ancient Echoes.